and welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We are going to start with Memphis Depay, as it has been reported that Barcelona will try to sell the 20 million rated forward in the January transfer window. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about this report that Barcelona have identified two serious candidates to take over Pique's captaincy. Who are these two candidates? We are also going to be looking at that. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. According to a report published by Mundo Deportivo, everything indicates that Barcelona will try to offload Memphis Depay in January after the World Cup. His contract clocks up in 2023 and the club do not want to lose him for free in the summer. The player though is looking for exactly that in the hopes of collecting signing bonuses. In fact, he explicitly requested Barcelona to terminate his contract in the summer so he could join the team of his liking on a Bosman move. The Catalans folded to his demands soon enough in the hopes of making space in the wage bill, and the Dutchman was also close to leaving with a deal agreed with Juventus. The move crashed due to Memphis' last-minute demands, unfortunately, and he decided to take or to play second fiddle to the likes of Ferran Torres, Ansu and Robert Lewandowski. Currently, Memphis Depay has taken permission from the club to miss the last few days of training to join the Netherlands national team ahead of the World Cup. He has spent more than the last fortnight injured after picking up a hamstring knock during the previous international break. While reports suspected that he was intentionally delaying his recovery so as to remain fit for the World Cup, Memphis came out quickly to publicly clear his name. He said, "I'm hearing some disrespectful rumors about me purposely slowing down my injury. The media sharing things so easily without actually knowing the fact, which as an end result creates a negative narrative about me," he said. On the last 6 months of his contract with Barca, it seems unlikely that the club will be able to fetch anything over 10 million euros for his services. In fact, several teams will be looking to strike a pre-agreement with the player in the hopes of a free summer move. Memphis Depay continued to be linked out of Barcelona. Of course, the player's future have always been an uncertain one ever since last summer. And from the way things are going, Barcelona will be looking to cash in on him in January. But the fact that the player, of course, still thinks he wants to finish the season, to see out his contract, there might be some issues there because Barcelona know for sure that if they don't sell in January, means they won't receive anything because he will be a free agent in the summer. But Memphis Depay, according to the report, is keen to leave Barcelona only when his contract comes to an end. Maybe because of the signing on bonus that he will receive, which is always very huge for free agent. But it's going to be complicated though. Memphis Depay, to be honest, I don't know what have been happening, but it's really sad to see the way his time at Barca is looking to end. He came when Ronald Koeman was in charge, and he was like the main man. When Messi left the club, but things have taken a drastic turn ever since Xavi came. Xavi bought Aubameyang in January last year. Brought in Ferran Torres. From that time, Memphis Depay's future started looking so bleak and so dull. You don't know, like the player does not, like he's not in the Barca team again. He's not been involved in many matches. Ever since the summer, it was heavily expected that Memphis Depay will not be at this club this season. But just maybe when his demands were considered too high by Juventus, the player had no choice than to stay because that move did collapse. So. But rumors have not ceased about Memphis Depay, who still continue to be linked out of the club. According to recent reports, Juventus are still showing a lot of interest despite missing out on him in the summer window. Juventus are still showing a lot of interest, so it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up. But Barcelona want to cash in on him in January so that they can make some small millions in his bag. But I don't think there are clubs out there who how can I put it? I don't think there are clubs there that will run out to buy him in January, knowing fully well that Memphis's contract expires in June. So they'll be like, better let me just have a pre-contract agreement so that when he'll be a free agent, I'll just take him for free. So I think Barcelona will find it so difficult to sell Memphis Depay in January. With all honesty, it will be difficult. It will be difficult. Of course, Memphis Depay has had a very, very how can I put it, terrible campaign. Played very few matches, and his injury that he carried out on like 2 months ago while playing for Netherlands, even though many people are still suspecting him that, come on, up to now you are not still good. Are you sure this guy is not delaying his injury recovery? But the player have come out to clear the air like, look, nobody should doubt my professionalism and stop bringing negative energy towards me because I am fit. I'm not fit, sorry. And he loves the club. So let's see. Means we'll always see Memphis Depay back in action only after the World Cup, because right now, from the reports, he have gone to the Netherlands to train with his team while preparing for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Gerard Pique's early departure leaves a huge hole in the team in multiple ways. Firstly, in the end of 2 decades-long fairy tale filled with glittering trophies and achievements, it also leaves behind a void in defense for Barcelona, as they are now down to 4 centre-backs this season, the oldest of whom is Andres Christensen at 26 years. And finally, it means the club are now short of a captain. Pique held the vice-captain's armband from last season following Messi's departure, playing second fiddle to Sergio Busquets. Barcelona players will have the chance to elect a new captain through a voting process. And if reports from Sport are to be believed, Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Robert Lewandowski are the leading options to take over the armband. Ter Stegen has been at the club since 2014, arriving from Borussia Mönchengladbach for just under 10 million euros. Traditionally, the most experienced players are made captain, and he is, after Busquets, Sergio Roberto and Jordi Alba, the player with the most Barca time caps during his spell. Lewandowski, on the other hand, of course, is the second oldest player in the squad and has been playing top-flight football in the T5 leagues for more than a decade. He has on few occasions captained Bayern Munich and also holds the responsibility for the Poland national team. Both players have been hailed for their leadership by the players' administration and fans alike, and would ideally make for excellent deputies. We can expect a decision on this front almost immediately after the World Cup. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.